Welcome to being a winning player, to take charge of your talent. I want you to enjoy the benefits of coaching for yourself at any stage in your career so that you can get the perspectives and insights that are possible with the vantage point of somebody else. You know, the amazing thing that I found with coaching is I can ask people the same questions and give them a list of questions written down and have them go off and work on those. And they can take even hours to work on the answers to them, you know, what their hopes are, why they're important to them, what are their concerns, et cetera, et cetera. And without fail, nothing comes anywhere near the power of what they can get in just less than an hour's conversation. Because the energy, the insights, the catalytic effect of a coach listening to them, exploring issues with them, is so much more powerful than what people can do on their own. So if you're looking to advance in your career, to accelerate your results, to burst through challenging circumstances, I really encourage you to consider a coach and to consider the wonderful opportunities through ICMA coaching program to be tapping volunteer coaches, people who are willing and interested to help you in your career. These folks who are looking for your calls, your emails, not because they're not busy, but because they know the power of coaching and they want to give back to the profession and help you benefit from it. So let's talk about some of the things you can do to get the most from this so that it's an enjoyable thing for you, something that's fun, so that you feel like, oh wow, this is going to be an opportunity versus, oh my gosh, how's this going to go? What's going to happen? Am I going to look stupid? Or any of the things that might get in people's way in thinking about how they could benefit from coaching. So the first thing is think about the topic that's of interest to you. There's lots of different topics for coaching. It could be advancing your career. It could be dealing with a difficult situation. It could be figuring out how you can navigate a particular challenging technical issue. There can be a whole variety of topics that can come up in coaching. So think about what your topic is. And then when you have that topic in mind, you're ready to go on to the next step here. The next step is for you to identify a desired format. You know, what's a good context for you in this? Are you looking to just have a quick telephone conversation with somebody because you've got a technical question or something you want to ask about or a particular circumstance? Or is it that you'd really like to get some more perspective on your career and you'd like to have a more robust coaching conversation? That will help you be clear to when you reach out to a coach and connect with a coach with a clear indication of, hey, this is my topic. This is what I'm looking for. Would you have a few minutes for me to ask you a question? Could we get together over lunch? Could I come by for a cup of coffee? Could we schedule a time to be exploring some things about my career? You need to sort of set the stage on what you're looking for. Coaches are pleased to help, but they're looking for some direction from you about what you want and what you're looking for. And when you have that in place, then you can clarify the confidentiality. Always encourage people to do that at the start. You know, to clarify, okay, is this a confidential conversation, or is this a conversation that you're having with your supervisor or somebody outside your organization? You know, just a clear understanding so that you and your coach feel comfortable about the terms of engagement. So the next thing to consider is how you can provide some brief background about yourself. As I highlighted in the introductory video about coaching, I want you to think about your talent as a story. And you have all the chapters in your story to date, but the important thing is, what's the next chapter? So don't inundate yourself and your coach with a whole lot of background of who did what to whom and everything else. Sort of pick the background that you think will be helpful and relevant for the coach to know about you so that he or she can help in thinking through where you might go next. So that's the critical thing, because all of coaching is about forward movement. It's about the next chapter in your talent story. So we're going to turn now to a video clip of the coaching session with Jill, where she articulates her topic and a little brief background about herself so that you can see how that conversation starts to roll.
So as we begin, I'm interested in knowing what topic you've picked. Now, sometimes people pick a topic about how to advance in their career, how to deal with a difficult work situation, how to have more work-life balance, any of a whole host of topics. But which topic area did you pick? Because we haven't rehearsed this, so this is a live.
I actually chose how to advance in my career, how to
Okay.
take what I'm doing and bring it to the next level.
Okay, great. So would you please take a couple moments and give me some background information about yourself that'd be relevant for me to understand a little bit about your career so that I can appreciate, where you are and how you look to advance?
Absolutely. So I started in federal government and I found a love for government itself, but I wanted to do something that made more of an impact, a more immediate impact. So I got into local government. I'm an executive assistant for the city manager. So I have the opportunity to see an array of different things that happen at the city. But I'm a Jill of all trades, but a master of none. So I get to see all these different projects. Yet I don't manage any single one of them. I just have a little part in each and every one of them. So I guess that's my experience. That's where I'm at now. Is just I guess lower level and figuring out how I can take it to the next step.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from you is that you're interested in how you can advance in your career. You've had a lot of different experiences, and you're looking at, well, how do you put those together in a way that can help you move forward?
Exactly. How do I take the skills that I have? How are they transferable?
Okay, okay, and how can you grow them and develop them and
Sure.
figure a path
Exactly.
to go forward?
Exactly.
Okay, great.
So if you've just seen and heard Jill describe her topic and some background about herself, we're now going to be looking at what are the next elements for you to be thinking about in the conversation. And so one of the things that people find very helpful to think a little bit about beforehand, although it's not necessary or required, is to be prepared to articulate what some of your hopes are about the topic that you've picked. You know, hopes are an interesting topic. Many people have never been asked in their professional careers about what their hopes are for their career. People have talked to them about what their goals are, about, what the expectations of the position are, and things of that nature, all of which, frankly, from a best brain perspective, tend to prompt people to be a little careful, a little fearful, and don't engage the very best thinking. So you may not be acquainted with this question of what are your hopes, but don't worry, you don't have to have it all figured out beforehand. A coach who's doing some generous listening with you can ask you about your hopes and aspirations, what's important to you and why, and begin to draw from you what that foundation is deep within yourself. And it may be something that you haven't examined before, and that's okay. That's part of the new learning. That's part of the new growth that can come from a solid foundation and what your hopes are, why they're important to you as you look forward to how you can have a fulfilling career in local government. As you proceed then, we've really set it up for the coach to have a series of scripted questions to be asking you to elicit your thinking and to stimulate your ideas and to help you in moving forward. So in some respects, the great thing for a player is that you can kind of sit back, not unengaged, but not feeling like you've got to perform. Rather, you're responding to things that are coming up, and you're doing that as candidly as you can to see what's coming forward for you, recognizing on everyone's part that you might be tossing out some exploratory ideas, some things that maybe you're not fully committed to, but you're thinking about as possibilities for yourself, as maybe a leap you'd like to make or something, action that you'd like to consider. You're going to remain in charge of all those choices, so you don't have to worry about getting overcommitted. I do encourage you, however, to be fully engaged and to enjoy the conversation and to see what insights it may have. Now, as a player, you may find that the chemistry that you have with the coach is ideal. It's catalyzing wonderful and exciting new ideas. And in other circumstances, you may feel like, oh, I was a little flat, or your coach didn't really seem to connect with you. No worries. You can always have another coaching conversation with somebody else. And in fact, I've had, with the Talent Catalyst conversation outline that I provide for coaches and players, I've had a half dozen of those conversations with different people, because I find as my career evolves and different circumstances arise, and I'm interacting with different people, that new ideas come forward. So it's not like you have to have this all happen, in a 40-minute conversation, or things are a failure. No, you're starting a process. You're starting a journey. You're starting the fashioning of the next chapter in your career. So the important thing then is to turn your intentions into results, and to do that in an effective way. Not only to articulate what actions you see, but as a thoughtful coach will do, is ask you, well, how do you see turning those intentions into results? What are some of the things that have worked for you? And over you'll find that coaches will go back to what works for you. What's in your DNA? What's in your life experience that you can draw upon? Because that's your most accessible set of resources for your success today and on into the future. So let's turn now to how the coaching conversation concluded with Jill, and how she identified what she gained from the conversation and what she's found as being useful to help her put ideas like that into practice. Not that that should be the same thing for you, it's her story, not your story, but to give you a taste and a feel for how you can be wrapping up a talent catalyst conversation, a coaching conversation, and moving forward to get real value and to acknowledge the benefits that you've gotten from that coaching session.
Okay, we're going to go to step number 10 here, which is to reflect on your possibilities and progress. So what do you feel you've gained from this conversation for yourself?
I think I've gained a little bit of focus, and knowing that it's, I guess, like I said, chunking it and grouping it, and knowing that it's not just an overwhelming future, that if I really set my mind to it and said, I'm going to start here, have a starting point, though I might not have the end goal yet, but have the starting point and the stepstones that may take me to the end point, or it may take me, to a different level of knowledge somewhere else, that's okay. So I've taken that I need to start, I guess.
Okay.
Make the time for myself to focus on it and
Okay. What do you think will help you follow through on these intentions? What has worked for you before?
probably
When you've set an intention, and how do you execute on that? What works for you? What's your success plan? You've had a lot of successes, so.
probably somebody holding me to it. It's not that I drop things. I don't just drop things when I'm not successful. I am persistent, and I do push it through. It's just, if I had, maybe a board or a plan that was in front of me that I could see and look at maybe every day or every other day, and readdressing it and seeing my progress, it might help me continue on that path.
So having someone to whom you could be accountable on this, or to be, cheering for you and holding these hopes for you. Sure. Do you have somebody in mind that you can, that you could turn to for that?
Probably my boss.
Okay. All right. So one of the things you might do is ask him and say, hey, look, I'm looking to advance in my career. I'd like your help and support in what my plan is. And then it sounds like you're a visual person. You already are seeing this picture of a plan, a board, a way to keep that in focus for yourself. And those things help you be successful.
They do.
Okay.
Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Right.
So as I hope you've seen from the conversation with Jill, and if you take the opportunity to watch the full coaching conversation, it runs 39 minutes, you can see how it flows, that you've gotten excited about what the potential might be for coaching in terms of your career, that you see how it can be a powerful way for you to enjoy some fresh perspectives on your career and the opportunities that it holds. And to support you in that, we have a number of resources. So in addition to the introductory video on being a great coach and a winning player, There's a parallel video to this one for coaches on being a coach, how to catalyze the greatness in others. And I hope that as you're thinking about being a player that is benefiting from coaching from somebody else, that you'll think about paying it forward to others, that you'll think about how you could be a coach for somebody else. Again, remember, you don't have to be more senior, more knowledgeable, or whatever. You're helping somebody else find the answers to their questions, to their objectives, to how they can fulfill their hopes. So it's a great way for you to be getting deeper and deeper. In fact, those of us who coach know that one of the great benefits of coaching is the opportunity to see how other people are grappling with issues and topics. And I find that I learn from every person that I coach. So you have a great opportunity to learn from others as you coach them, as well as you benefit from coaching yourself. So those are the resources. You can also look online at icma.org/coaching and see additional resources for one-on-one coaching. There's a coaches gallery there of people who are eager and interested to be coaches to you. Hope that you'll tap those. And finally, in closing, I want to acknowledge the legacy grant from CPO, the Continuing Education for Public Officials, that enabled these one-on-one coaching videos to be prepared and the other resources to be supported to you. And we'll also want to acknowledge the use of the insights and research and ideas and Talent Catalyst conversation outline from the book, Take Charge of Your Talent, 3 Keys to Thriving in Your Career, Organization, and Life.